Hey everyone! Today I am going to make a card using this 49 Market Vicky Bouton Irresistible Rub-On Transfer Set. And I have used this a tiny bit, but it's been a while. So, let me see. I have a lot of it left. Oh, I think I've used a little bit more than I thought I had. The butterflies, that's what I was thinking of. Let me grab my scissors. Some of them just fell. That's okay, I'll get those later. So I'm just gonna cut the butterflies out here. Oh no, I think it's hard to see sometimes in this lighting. Did I just barely cut into the little bit of that heart, but that's okay. I don't know if I'll use anything else on here. I'll just put those to the side. And I have a panel that is 4 1/4 by 5.5 inches. And do I want to put anything else? Really, my only thought was use these rub-ons and use these inks. I have some Distress Oxide inks. I've got Squeezed Lemonade, Twisted Citron, and Mermaid Lagoon. So I'm just gonna pop those there. And I'm trying to decide how I want this to go. I don't even know what sentiment I'm gonna use. Just a second. I really need to spend a day, I don't know, throw some of my friends' YouTube channels on. I've been watching Geraldine Rose and AS Card Design. I've been sticking their channels on and enjoying watching them create as I'm creating, and I think I need to do that one of these days and whip up a whole bunch more sentiments, because I have a bunch of random ones, but I think I need a lot more of, I don't know, I think I need a lot more like birthday sentiments, just in black and white. Oops. So I think one of these days I am going to sit and make a whole bunch more, and I did recently buy a bunch more of these bins at Dollarama. I love these bins, they are stackable, and I think I need some separate ones so that I have like colored sentiments in one and a whole bunch of just black and white sentiments. Right now I just have the one for sentiments, and yeah, so I don't think that really helped me as far as figuring out what I want to put on here. Oh, I don't know. I don't really have a complete idea. It's one of those craft and play moments. Try to get an idea of what else is on here. You know what? I know I want these. And my very first initial thought, oh my gosh, did you see that? Okay, pivot again, because this butterfly, I don't know if maybe how I had it stored, that actually just stuck to the backing, which that is not supposed to happen. Maybe it's something I did wrong in storing them. Anyways, I can use that another time for some more distressed type of look. And I just see I have a part of that heart that I didn't cut right. So I guess we're having more than just butterflies, because 2 butterflies just doesn't cut it the same as 3. And I can see this one is also starting to rub off a bit. That's really weird. I have never had one of these do this before. And I generally store all of my rub-on transfers on a shelf just behind me on one of my bookcase shelves, so I don't know why it did that. It's a mystery to me. Okay, that's on there. So I've got 2. Now, gotta come up with something else because that's not quite gonna do what I want. Let me set that aside. And let's see what else we have. I can just put some random, there's hearts, there's splatters, there's like tickets. What is that? That's a little date, like a little library card entry thing. This has got some stitching. I really like these circles, but I don't think I want them with the butterflies. There's more stitching. Some more circles. A bunch of hellos. I might go with this. I don't want to cut into that stitching though. There's a long piece of stitching that runs down the side. And I feel like I want to keep that intact because I feel like that might be useful on a scrapbook layout because it's nice and long. And there's one on either side. Cut that off. Sometimes I put these aside on my shelf and then I don't think about them for a while. Or, in all honesty, I also have not played with them a lot, so sometimes I feel a little bit intimidated, maybe, to use them. Let's put that there, overlap it a little bit over that butterfly. And this just has just some writing. It's talking about patterns and diagrams and sewing, maybe? I don't know. But anyways, we buy supplies and we really should get our money's worth out of them and use them, right? I want to use them before something like that happens again. I'm still so confused as to why that happened. But it is what it is. And it's not going to stop me from crafting today. I have heard, I actually have not done like my own real research. I've heard some people say that rub-on transfers have like a shelf life. You got to use them before they get too old. And I've heard other people say that that's not true. They last forever. And I honestly don't know. If somebody watching this knows and can help me out, let me know, because I mean, if they have a shelf life, I should not be holding on to them and waiting to use them. I should be using them quicker. So I honestly don't know if that's what's happened here. But look at that. Okay, I am going to randomly ink these. I don't know if I'll go like in lines. I often kind of go on a diagonal and do lighter to darker or darker to lighter. But I feel like it needs more. And And I also feel like I just want to cut this long skinny strip off right now so I don't mess it up. And I should think about using those on a scrapbook soon, because now I'm a little bit concerned that these are gonna need to be used sooner rather than later. I don't know what year these came out. 2025. So like I only bought it last year sometime. Let's put this maybe. Where do we want this? Maybe over here. Now maybe a little bit of, maybe some hearts or some splatters. What have we got? Oh, we've got some numbers. That's too big. Here we've got a little bit of words and splatters. Maybe I'll use some of those. Cut this out, and then there's a little bit of splatter up here. So I feel like maybe this guy can go right there. And I have heard that you can layer them over top, and I did layer a little bit of that over top one of the butterflies and it worked, so got a little bit more layering going on here. Oh. See, this one is having a bit with its stickiness. I don't know. Okay, that seemed to work. Let's put some little splotches. How about there? Just slightly overlapping that butterfly wing. I'll make a little bit of marks in my card. Okay. There's a squeaky train going by. Okay, it's coming together. I wonder, how about putting something else? I could put a couple of hearts, but I don't know. Take that away and that away. Don't want any of the leaves and branches. Maybe these numbers, but I'm not sure yet. But I will set them aside. Not those and not those. So I think this sheet is all that I'm left with. Oh, I've got some splotches and some numbers. Yes. Not sure if I'll use all of them, but let me section them out here. That and that. I feel like these splotches should go over here. this guy there. And this guy. Just a minute, do I want this one? Maybe there. It'll be interesting to see how this turns out. And these splotches, how about right there? Ooh, those rubbed off so fast. Do I even need these numbers? I mean, they could. Actually, wait a minute. Instead of the numbers, I might use this little like library card looking thing. I wonder if that might look kind of cool. Right over there. Well, it's going there now. Okay, I feel like that is enough. I don't know if you can see that really well. But let me move these things aside. Garbage away, coffee. And get out my little blending brushes. So we've got squeezed lemonade, which I believe is right here. Give that a good squeeze. I gotta get a baby wipe out so I do not smudge. Okay, twisted citron is next, which is right here. So far I used these little dauber things for my Distress Oxide inks. Probably because that's what was easily available to me when I started doing this. Mermaid Lagoon. That is not in this bin. It's right there. Velcro is getting a little sketchy on some of them. Okay, now what do I do? I think I'm just gonna do maybe just my normal ink blend on an angle. Love how that resists. And then after I will take a little paper towel and rub over it as well. Okay, let's get some of this one next. Oh my gosh, what is that? Okay, that was not in the plan. I honestly cannot even see where that came from. Somehow, there was something red on there, Let's see if we can cover that up. We might have to, I don't know. Maybe the sentiment will go there. I like to use my clear packaging to hold down the already inked up spots. Oh, I love this color. Oh, the packaging is sticking a little bit to the rub-ons. I never thought of that. Look at that pretty color as it blends. I think that might be good enough, except a little more down there. Okay, I'm going to clean this up and come back. Okay, got everything cleaned up. I'm going to take a dry paper towel and I'm just going to gently rub over those rub-ons, and you can see the ink is coming off that is sitting on top of that white, and then as I rub it, that white is getting brighter again. Look at that, so pretty. Okay, I am happy with that. The only thing I'm not happy with is that little bit of red blotch there. But it can be covered up with something. Okay, I brought in my little bin that has different shapes in it. Not sure what I'll find. I'm going to have some circles. It's possible I could do a circle with the sentiment. That's left over from a different project. Oh, sorry, I have a couple of these too. What would that look like if I put, I think I have a few of those. Do I have three? Three might work, but I don't know if I have three. That was also from another project. Oh my goodness, look at this. I got three. I got four. I got a little tiny white heart. Oh, another one of these. That one's not really doing much for me, but let me see what these do. What if I just had some shapes randomly here? That would cover up the little blotches that I did. Oh no, the whole reason is to cover that up. That's the one I want. What if I did something like that? And cut that piece off. It gives that nice stark white. And then cut those off. You know what? I might do that. Still don't know what the sentiment will be. And I'm going to glue, so I'm going to move my coffee over here because if you watched my last video, I accidentally dipped my glue into my coffee. And that was a tragedy. So we don't want to do that again. So let's apply some glue on here. And let's stick this guy down. How about right there? These guys will fit around that. Wait, which part? Okay, so basically I just want glue over here. And we're going to stick this guy about there. And then this guy is going to go like there. I don't want all the pieces to look like they line up. They're just random, so I think I'll probably put it that way. Oops, I got glue on the front of that. Okay, that's gonna go there. And then this one is going to go there. this guy. We'll go there. Okay, this is coming together. Let's cut these off. Okay, I have just some white acrylic paint. Sure my thing is all right. Let me just okay, I haven't used that in a while. This summer has seemed so crazy busy, although it really hasn't been that busy. I don't know. I'm adding a little bit of water to this. And let me grab a scrap paper and a dirty paintbrush. I don't know if I have enough water in there, but let me just see. Okay, that looks all right. Got some big droplets on there, which is kind of what I want, and let's just make this look kind of messy. That's probably good. So I'm going to let that dry and clean up, and then I'll come back. Okay, there still are some wet spots on there, a couple larger ones, but I think, wet there too, I think I should be able to glue it on here without messing it up. Let's hope. Okay. Press it down without getting the wet paint spots. I think I did it, guys. Look, with the It's Your Day inside. There's a little bit of wet glue right there. Glue peeking out there. And then I also did look a little more carefully through my sentiments, and I found this little tiny black and white sentiment that says celebrate. So I'm thinking of popping it somewhere right around here. I thought of going over, oh, I wonder, now hold on, I could go there, I could go up here. I was thinking it might stand out nice against the colors, but now I'm kind of thinking either right there or right there. I kind of feel this one actually. So let's add some glue. And just look again one more time. No, this one is speaking to me. So I am going with my gut. right. So that glue is still drying a bit, but there we go. Some nice bright cheery colors. Those rub-on transfers worked really well, even though I was struggling a little bit with them, but look they turned out really pretty. And then inside, it's your day. And that is stamped from the Alex Siberia birthday sentiments, and that's what this is from as well. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your support, and have a wonderful, peaceful day.